Welcome back on one of the most important days that a South African gets to be alive. Today marks a significant milestone as we as South Africans celebrate 30 years of democracy. We celebrate, we commemorate, we take on board everything that has happened to get us to this point. And today's pivotal elections are about to play out. Voting stations will open from 7 o'clock this morning and will stay open up until 9 o'clock tonight. Kaya Sithole, an independent analyst, now joins us via video call to provide some insights into what promises to be a momentous day, hopefully a watershed moment for this country. Kaya, so good to be connecting with you this morning. Thank you for giving up the early part of your day to connect with us and help, I think, educate and empower the voters that are about to put their hands up and put their mark down. So I've got to ask, in a general sense, as a South African, from my heart to yours, congratulations on this day. How are you feeling about going to the polls today and about the country going to the polls today? It does feel different to me somehow.
Yeah, good morning to everyone. And I imagine a lot of people have been up for many hours already. I woke up at 4 a.m. I don't know why, but there is indeed
good on
a
you,
sense
man.
of excitement. And I think, obviously, the key issue is that we have a much more diverse electorate. We've got much more diversity in the different parties that we've seen. There's been greater contestation. And I think, in all regards, it's been a fair campaign. We haven't seen some of the toxic elements that people predicted might happen. So I think it's been a good campaign. And a lot of parties have tried to obviously sell the message as best as they could. It's also probably, as you can imagine, a very digital election in the sense that as more people are engaging on digital and social media platforms, that has become the new way of engaging and embracing new voters. So again, elections evolve, and obviously the more younger people engage with the electoral process, the more digital the process is, then the more diverse the way in which people can campaign has been. And I think that's obviously part of the excitement that drives what we're seeing today.
I feel you completely. We've seen certain parties shift their party politics, focusing on one welfare, focusing on wildlife, focusing on various elements that speak to purpose. And then we've got a young generation driven by purpose who are embracing this, which I love. So for the young voters out there heading to the ballots, what do they need to take with them in terms of mindset and actually physically? What do we need to go and vote today?
Yeah, so I think obviously the reality is that some voting stations have got higher density than others, so people might be there for a bit longer, but of course it is a privilege to be part of this process. So it's also a winter election, a winterish election, so it's not as hot as it might have been. So therefore we don't expect a lot of people to be suffering from dehydration, for example. But of course, one needs to carry whatever makes them feel comfortable, whether it's the type of running shoes that you would otherwise have been taking to the gym, whether it's the water or the juice or whatever refreshments that you need, but also more importantly, obviously the documentation. Your ID is the most important one, but one cannot overemphasize this. Check your GPS. Do not go to the wrong station because you will not be allowed to vote. It is different from previous elections where you could have gone to any station and only then just got one of the ballots. But in this case, you will not be allowed to participate if you've gone to the wrong station for a variety of reasons. So I think even for young people who are doing this for the first time, please just make sure that you check that there is enough time. So even if you get there and perhaps you don't have all your stuff in order, you can still move around. And even at 9 p.m., if you are in the queue, you will not be turned away. So for some reason, a station could be open until midnight. If there's 10,000 people that are in the queue at the cutoff point, this is not the comrades. We will let you in so you can exercise your vote.
I love it. We'll drag you across the line today. I absolutely love that. 3 ballots, slightly more complicated procedure, a lot more to think about. What do we need to be aware of through that process? And if we make a mistake, if something goes wrong, can we ask for help? What do we do if something like that does go awry?
Yeah, so the first and most important thing is that you must be very clear that you make a cross or your mark in a box. It must clear that you've made it in a particular box. If it looks like it may be on 2 boxes or it doesn't look very clear about where your choices are, feel free to raise your hand and ask for a new piece of paper so that you can do that process again. Because obviously the moment you actually make a mistake, that might be a spoiled ballot and you don't want that. So please feel free to ask for a new piece of paper. You are entitled to a new piece of paper and there's no limitation to how many pieces of paper that you can have. In fact, you could be there thinking that you're going to vote for a particular party and then 2 or 3 seconds later you have a complete change of heart. It's fine. change your mind, ask for a new piece of paper, and then you can obviously make your mark. And also, it's obviously quite important to make sure that you understand the distinction between the three ballots. So if you've taken the view that you want Party A to be at national, make sure that you are on the national ballot. It is the biggest one. It is a double-sided one. It is the longest one. So that's the one that you must say, okay, this is a party that I want at national level, and then at regional level, and then at provincial level. And don't feel rushed. Take your time, apply your mind. This is your most important exercise that you're going to get to do every 5 years.
Completely. I could ask you a litany of more questions, but you have answered so many of them already. Thank you so much. I can feel how excited you are about today. I can see it in your eyes, my friend. Enjoy going through the process yourself, and I will say thank you for guiding so many of us along this path with you. I love the fact that we're in the space of practicality now. What does this mean? What can we do? This is action, this is empowerment, but we've got to put our hands up and do it. So enjoy the process, stay safe out there, and to all South Africans going out there to make their mark, just keep your head about you. Be clear about what you want to do. If you change your mind, that's okay. Just put your hand up, ask for a new ballot. If you make a mistake, you can speak to someone and ask for a new ballot. Just make sure you take your ID with you and you stay calm and you treat everyone around you with love and respect. It's going to be that kind of day, possibly one of the most important days in our country's history. Go out there and embrace it.